A Manhattan grand jury's unprecedented indictment of former President Donald Trump is expected to be unsealed on Tuesday.
Shaun Boyd talks about how this might affect Colorado Republicans.
The impact of the former president's indictment legally and politically could be far-reaching. I spoke with the newly elected chair of the Colorado Republican Party about how he expects this to play out.
I think this thing is going to backfire on the Democrats. I think what you're seeing right now are Republicans who are rallying around President Trump. The primary is going to play out, whether it's going to be Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, who's going to be our nominee. I think every Republican and even every American is going to see this for what it is. It's a political stunt that really puts into question our legal system. And people are going to see this as bigger than any one particular person. They're going to see this as an injustice. We are not a third world banana republic, and I think people are going to side with President Trump even if they don't like him.
Joining me, our analyst, Democrat Mike Dino, Republican Dick Wadhams. Dick, let me start with you. Do you agree with Williams that even people who don't support Trump are going to see this as political persecution and election interference?
No doubt that there will be Republicans rally around President Trump, even if they are not crazy about him. That's a Republican thing. And listen, I agree. I think this is really dumb to prosecute this case. I think it's a weak case, and I don't think it should have been pursued. But having said that, I do not think it helps Trump in the long term in terms of the general election. It does strengthen his ability to win the Republican nomination, but that's much different than winning a general election. I just don't see unaffiliated voters in Colorado and around the nation saying, oh, once again, they're picking on poor Trump. I mean, just the underlying circumstances of why this was brought up. I mean, with paying off the prostitute so she wouldn't talk before the election. It's just so unseemly, and that's the trouble with Donald Trump. It's always chaotic. He always creates the mess he finds himself in. And so I think long term it does not help him. In the short term, it does solidify his potential hold on the nomination.
So, Mike, Dick talks about this being unseemly. I think a lot of people thought if Trump was indicted, it would be for something like election interference, inspiring the attack on the Capitol, mishandling classified documents. Will they see paying hush money to keep an affair quiet as something that's petty, which then could really hurt Democrats, even if it doesn't help Trump?
Well, I think all the things you mentioned that people may have expected him to be charged with are on the way, number one. This is just part of that progression. I mean, his fixer, Michael Cohen, was put in prison for this. And the Manhattan DA has up to 30 charges, it's rumored. And so it's not insignificant. I think we've also seen executives with his companies already convicted and doing prison time. So it's all part of the same cauldron of wrongdoing that the president's committed over a period of time. It will rally some of the partisans, no doubt, but I think it reinforces with Democrats, and Dick's talked about this a lot, unaffiliateds who do not have any love for him. It just reinforces what a bad guy is, and it's going to be on the forefront for a while.
What do you think, Dick? He does face these other possible indictments. Do you think, what do you expect in those?
Well, they are much more serious than this. I mean, especially the Georgia case. I mean, when he called up the Secretary of State of Georgia and said, find me 11,000 more votes so I can essentially steal the state, that's serious, and he should be prosecuted for that. We don't know what the special counsel is going to be doing at the federal level, but I think those two have tremendous downside for him, much more than this thing in New York. But he ought to be looking at that more seriously.
Mike, whether the indictment, this particular one, is warranted or not, it is uncharted waters. Do you think as a result of this, we're going to see more local prosecutors going after former presidents?
Yeah, I think it could politicize that. I mean, certainly we have seen, and I think even here at times, I was involved with Denver International Airport and Mayor Webb way back when, and there was even politicization of those issues and back then, and so it's not, DAs aren't immune to doing this. Will they bring it to the level of the president? Certainly they're capable of that happening.
What do you think, Dick?
Yeah, well, I think back to when President Clinton was going through his problems, and how a local prosecutor or a state prosecutor might have gone after Clinton for what he did. It's just a door has been opened at this point by this prosecutor in New York, and I don't think anybody's going to like it long term. But there are some, like I said, I do think the Georgia case is legitimate, and he should be investigated, and he should be prosecuted if so.
Mike, Dick talked about this earlier, but an indictment, even in conviction in this case, does not preclude Trump from winning the nomination, even the presidency. So how do you see this indictment impacting his chances first to win the nomination? Let's talk about that.
I think it's a big plus for him. I mean, he really plays off this stuff and enjoys playing off it. And it keeps him on the forefront. There's, Governor DeSantis of Florida that is trying to break out and be a national candidate, has had some inconsistencies there, and some of the other candidates are just too weak to get any traction. And Trump's going to drown him out with this. And so I think it's a great foothold for him if you're in his shoes. For people who want to see him go back, into the cave that they want him to be in, that won't be happening for a while.
He's been using this to fundraise. It's helping.
I expect a huge fundraising haul, Shaun, in the aftermath of this, and it strengthens him politically. It strengthens him financially, and that's going to be the reality for the short term. So.
If this does get to the point where it does go to trial, I have to wonder how Trump gets a fair trial, especially, if the venue isn't changed in a place where 75% of people voted against him. Thoughts?
Well, that's a good point. There are some more moderate communities in upstate New York. For instance, Buffalo is a Democratic county, but Erie County. But I think you could find a place in New York City, or New York State, I should say.
Find a swing county?
Well, what are we? We are 19 months away from the general election for president. I don't think that there will be a trial before then, no matter what. And I think former President Trump's counting on getting back into the White House to avoid a trial.
All right, lot to think about, much to come. Back to you.
Thanks, Shaun. We'll be right back.